back to the Alan Presents. We are here with another reactions video to the recent AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling PPV event, Forbidden Door. I got that right?
Yep.
Got that right?
Yep.
Good. I'll be your host today. I'm Leanne. Hello, it's very nice to meet you. And I am joined with by my co-host, Alan. I can say words.
Can you?
Yes.
This is going to be interesting with the Japanese names.
Ooh, here we go. So, this event took place yesterday for us. So it was Sunday the 26th of June. And
wow. Technically in America it was, but
yeah.
for us it was less than 24 hours ago.
The build date was Sunday the 26th of June. So we've watched it today, which is Monday the 27th of June. We'll bring you our reactions and get them posted as soon as we can so that we're not too far behind for you guys. So before we start, I wanted to give a quick shout out to one of our viewers who had a nice chat with in the comments. Joseph, have I written the surname down right? No. Joseph Hitter.
I can't even see what it is. Oh, Leanne.
Autocorrect.
Oh, Leanne.
Hi, Joseph.
You know who you are, Joseph.
You know who you are.
We had a bit of a chat.
And we hope that you enjoyed Forbidden Door live and in person.
The atmosphere seemed pretty electric.
It did. I mean, we enjoyed it just sitting on the sofa, so it must have been good for you. So, I mean, thanks for watching our stuff and for going.
And for commenting and joining the conversation.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you. Okay. So, this was a pretty packed event.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty eventful, and it was good. It was a good one. We'll start with a buy-in. There were a whopping 4 matches.
So they originally announced 12 matches and they snuck an extra one in on the pre-show, on the buy-in.
Snuck one in.
Sneaky little hobbitses.
Sneaky hobbitses. So we start with QT Marshall and Aaron Solo. Sorry, QT Marshall. Marshall and Aaron Solo versus Yoshi-Hashi and Hirooki Goto. See? I got it right. This is a great way to kick off the show. Really enjoyable. Great showcase of both the teams. And of course there were some shenanigans, as you would expect when you've got QT Marshall involved in anything.
I've just realised in all my notes I didn't actually mark who won and who didn't.
Oh, sorry, I got you.
Oh, damn.
I got you. I got you. I was taking good notes. Yeah, great match. Like we've said before, we're not gonna sort of spend way too much on each match, just like stuff that stood out to us, and then we'll go to the finish and the results.
Sorry, you can tell Rikes is back, can't you?
Yeah, cat hair everywhere. So do you have anything that you wanted to say about this one?
That was a hell of an opening match.
It was.
That's all I've got on my notes. I try to keep my notes too streamlined because I know that you take an extensive one. So plus I've only got so much space on a page, peeps.
Yeah, I've got unlimited space on that.
When she charges her phone as well.
It's alright, because I got to use the iPad instead. Yay! Yeah, it was really for a match that's the first match on the buy-in, which is quite often in other companies a throwaway match because people are still filing in. The crowd already looked full. Everyone was into it. The atmosphere was great. It was a brilliant start.
Well, usually with like a pre-show match in the other place, you wouldn't have them. You'd have one match on the pre-show, and it would be in the last quarter of an hour. This was bang straight on top of the first hour.
It wasn't because obviously they have the countdown after the Friday show.
The Rampage.
The Rampage. I always forget which way around they go because we don't watch them in the right days.
I don't think they show the countdown here anyway. So.
No. So the countdown will be all the recap stuff that is quite often in the like pre-show stuff. And then the buy-in really is the warm up the crowd, lead into stuff show.
This match sure as hell warmed up the crowd.
Oh, it did.
They were really getting on QT and Aaron Solo.
Yeah, I mean, Marshall sucks chance right from the start.
He does.
He does. So this match ends with Yoshi and Hirooki doing some kind of tandem move, which I don't think there's a name for.
Yeah, if there was, I didn't catch what it was.
It looked good. It was great. And they pin Aaron Solo to win.
And we had that one correct.
Good start. So moving on to Lance Archer versus Comoroto.
Nick Comoroto.
Nick, how did I get the first name?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, but you've seen him before. He's part of the factory.
Yeah. And I didn't write down the first name. Was it not on the
It
little
was.
card?
It absolutely was.
I blame the iPad. I was trying to use the Apple Pencil, and I was having some trouble at the start because I'm not very used to scribbling and it turning into real words. So I probably accidentally deleted it.
You know what's quite funny is that you had a go at me once for having a can of branded drink on a video, yet you just name dropped 2 Apple devices. Now who's doing product placement?
Sponsor us, Apple.
Yeah, this was the sneaky.
This was a sneaky match, not announced beforehand, as far as we're aware. It wasn't announced on any of the main shows.
I didn't see
anyways.
anything, no.
It was a shorter match, but still something quite special.
2 big guys just beating the hell out of each other.
They're big guys. You often have Lance Archer chucking around the smaller guys. There's Cat.
Speaking of smaller guys.
Just throwing them and just wailing on everyone. So to see him going against someone who's arguably bigger than him, definitely
he's definitely stocked, yeah. He's definitely hairier.
Definitely. He's hairier than most men.
He's hairier than our fleecy hair, what do you call it? Fur blanket. Fake fleur.
I know
Fake
you like
fur.
sitting on an iPad, but you're too loud. I'm just leaning hard into it now. Let me just show the Apple. Yeah, so this was good stuff.
Yeah.
We got a lovely treat with Archer somehow getting Nick Comoroto up to do the blackout on him.
He held him up there for a while.
Like,
he was just like da 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 da.
From the corner, from the top rope, just like carried him to the middle, had a bit of a rest,
Crunch.
and then crunch, and then pinned him to the win. Both men got a good outing.
Mm-hmm.
They got to really show their strength. What's not to like?
I think they maybe put this match on the card thinking about it, because Lance Archer's part of the G1 the G1 Climax tournament, which is coming up next month. On the 16th of July that one starts. So this could have just been like a showcase of Archer, and they did say that maybe down in the few years' time, Nick Comoroto could be part of it as well. They started calling, was it Block A, the Big Boys Block, I think they were calling it, because there's a lot of big guys, like big Bad Fale's in there, Jeff Cobb's in there, Lance Archer's in there. A lot of the more bulky, tall, hefty lads, you know, in New Japan Pro Wrestling, in that block.
Cool.
So maybe that's why this match was sort of last minute,
get it in
shoehorned
there.
in.
Get a bit of a show so that people on both sides can see what he's all about.
Yeah.
Nice, good stuff. So we had have an interview then with Clark Connors, basically just mouthing off about how things are gonna get wild. So yeah, that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then we move on to the next match, which was Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. Swerve. Versus Yoshinobu Kanemaru and El Desperado.
You stuttered on Desperado? Wow.
Still not English. It was a not bad match.
It wasn't bad.
It was pretty good.
It wasn't bad.
We start with Yoshinobu.
There it is.
No. No, honey. Oh, all my notes.
Come on. Hey.
He's writing words. Okay, yeah, Yoshinobu on the way down to the ring, just drinking whiskey straight from the bottle.
It looked like a jar as opposed to a bottle.
It looked like a bottle to me.
I don't know.
Had a neck and everything.
Did it?
Yeah.
Maybe I mistook. I don't know.
I don't know. It was a
Either way, it was supposed to be whiskey.
He was drinking whiskey. I have no doubt it was real.
Yeah.
Oh, Rags, you've written things on my notes.
Rags.
Well, you pointed out, which is quite interesting, was that Kanemaru and El Desperado came together.
Yes.
Had their entrances together.
Because they're part of the Suzuki Gun faction.
But Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee, who are a tag team, entered separately, or at least they entered to the top of the ramp separately and then came down together.
Yeah, they came down to the individual music.
Yeah, and we know there's been some tension between those two. So yeah, maybe it's time. Or I guess egos are big enough that they still want their own music,
Maybe.
which I think is fair enough.
But it doesn't bode well. Like, you slight tangent, but you think of egos, you think of Matt Riddle, and you think of Randy Orton, but yet they came down to a single song.
Very true.
You know, Randy Orton's like, 14-time world champion?
Yeah. I think he's put his ego aside at the moment in his story.
So why can't Keith Lee or Swerve Strickland?
Because the ego's part of their story. I don't know. It definitely says something, doesn't it?
Why don't you stand it?
Okay.
Rags is just being very disruptive.
Very. I feel like he's still going to stand on it even when it's like this, but, we'll see.
You won't be able to type on it, though.
True, unless the keyboard starts working suddenly. Anyway, so something I found quite fun was you had Yoshinobu and Keith Lee in the ring, and Keith Lee goes to do the strength contest, but like with his arm up high. Because he's like, you are small man, you cannot strength me. But Yoshinobu then just climbs to the top turnbuckle.
He sort of sat on the top there with his butt resting on the top.
So he is ready for that strength contest. So I found that quite fun.
That was fun. I've never seen that before. That was pretty cool.
It looked good.
And then all that, he just boots him in the chest, if I remember right.
Yeah, he doesn't really get to the strength bit. But I mean, why would you try and do a strength contest with a man as big as Keith Lee?
Yeah.
If you're his size. So yeah, there were some awkward looking spots, I think, in this one. After Keith Lee gets some ropes to his tenders, I think he sold it wrong.
Way too much.
Like, I don't know. There's something he shouldn't have been. I don't know how to say it modestly.
Well, I think the best way to put it is he spent more time after that moment in the match holding on to his nether regions than he did doing anything else.
Yeah, sold it for too long and it's sort of a bit too obviously, I think.
He held it a bit too tightly.
And he has tight shorts.
Yeah, he does.
I know, it's a bit weird. But that's fine. I mean, it doesn't like make him a bad wrestler. It didn't quite come off right, I think, is what I would say.
There's selling and there's overselling.
Yeah.
There's selling, there's overselling, there's Dolph Ziggler selling, and then there's Keith Lee in this match.
And then there's holding in other regions.
No, that's Keith Lee in this match.
It's weird. So once he manages to let go of himself, Keith Lee does hit the big bang catastrophe on Yoshinobu and pins him for the win. Which wasn't the outcome that we were hoping for.
No, we had that wrong. We figured that the team of Keith Lee and Swerve were going to break down.
Yeah.
It did look like in parts that they were going to.
Yeah, it's probably for future match. Maybe not now. Cool. Next. Next we have Kevin Knight, the DKC, Alex Coughlin, and Uemura. I'm trying. Yes. So, versus the Gun Club and Platinum Max Caster. Mostly. This is fun. I very much enjoyed this. No. No. It's getting Rags.
Hey, Rags, scissor me.
I still have trouble with that. It's funny, but it's cringy. I think that's what they're going for. Okay. So, you have a very normal, serious entrances from Kevin Knight, DKC, Alex Coughlin, and Yuya.
Just call him Yuya.
Yuya.
You're gonna have trouble.
Sorry.
We're gonna just this video will end up be 2 hours long.
Just me trying
trying to say the Japanese names.
I'm so sorry. And then we have the entrance from the Gun Club and Platinum Max Caster, which is precisely as expected. Max Caster's rap is as close to the line as he can manage.
I don't think I ever heard the word hentai in wrestling before.
No.
Now I have. I can die happy now.
Close to the line. But really funny. And as expected, you've got the Gun Club boys getting the name of the place wrong. They think they're in Tokyo
Dome,
which is bizarre. And then you have, I forget the other guy's name in the Acclaimed now. Anthony Bowens getting it right. And then
Scissor me daddy ass.
Scissor me daddy ass. But then, not again. No, you got one. You get one each time. You can't have too much.
I'll just scissor myself.
So wrong. Danhausen comes onto the screen.
Yeah.
Saying that he's got a gift for the Ass Boys. And it's glorious.
It was pretty spectacular.
The gift is the Ass Boys' own entrance music.
It was very reminiscent to me of Billy Gunn's music in the other company in WWF, Mr. Ass, Badass Billy Gunn, whatever you want to call him at that point. It kind of reminded me a lot of that, the style of it.
Yeah, so, but, I mean, the Ass Boys aren't very impressed, so they run to the back to try and find Danhausen. And, yeah, they're just gone for the whole match. They don't come back.
Just leaving Max Caster and Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to the dojo guys, they're quite, scrawny compared to Billy Gunn.
Oh, Billy Gunn's jacked.
Let's be perfectly honest, most of the AEW roster is scrawny compared to Billy Gunn.
I just read Daddy Ass is jacked on
Daddy Ass is jacked.
I just can't call them anything else now.
Yeah.
It's just stuck. It was very, very enjoyable. I feel like they use comedy a lot, but then when they're in the ring, like that, it's all seriousness.
Yeah.
They don't overplay it.
It's like getting your head tactics though, isn't it?
Yes. You're getting on my nerves now. His breath smells too. Yeah, so Caster hits the mic drop on the DKC and pins him for the win.
Right, off.
It's getting scratchy. Yeah, fun match. Good stuff.
Fantastic for a handicap match. And the dojo guys definitely had a good outing as well. It wasn't just a squash match. They had a really good showing.
Even though they lost in a 4-on-2 in the end. But, what can you do? It's good stuff. And a nice way to round out the buy-in show. Everyone's excited and hyped and happy. And that's what you want.
Oh, and for everyone who's watched our previous wrestling video before, just to make sure, just quick like this. Usually I wear a wrestling shirt. I couldn't find one I particularly wanted to wear today. I need to get more AEW shirts, but I have worn something that's technically a forbidden door.
Very nice.
Hey, continue.
Terrible, but very nice. All right, we're on to the main show. And this is the first one of these videos where I haven't said the main event when we get to the main show.
It's time for the main show.
The main show. So I don't know what else you meant to say. That the actual pay-per-view, maybe. Don't know. So Forbidden Door begins with
DraftKings Advert.
DraftKings Advert, obviously. I mean, it's a fair sponsor.
Yeah.
Gamble responsibly. So we have Sammy Guevara, Chris Jericho, and Minoru Suzuki versus Shota Umino, Wheeler Yuta. Did I say it wrong? Umino. I'm reading phonetically.
I know.
Wheeler Yuta and Eddie Kingston. And the stipulation is the winning team will get the man advantage at Blood and Guts.
Which is Dynamite on this coming Wednesday.
Yes. That's going to be good.
29th.
It's going to be good. This was... it was quite a long match.
It felt really long, yeah.
Compelling from start to finish.
Yes.
It was non-stop edge of your seat kind of stuff. I felt like, especially when Eddie Kingston was involved, there's just something about what he was doing and what the others were doing with it that really just elevated it, I think.
The stuff with him and Minoru Suzuki was amazing.
It was so good. Real good. We did have Yuta taking Jericho to Suplex City.
Yeah, that was nuts.
A lot. I didn't count them, so I didn't expect it to be
no, I wasn't.
But it was a lot. You also had sort of chaos where everyone kind of pairs off and fights outside the ring. Apart from Sammy, who's just like having a bit of a conversation with Tai Conti.
Yeah, that was weird.
But plays into the story, I guess.
One thing that annoyed me with Tai Conti in this one, though, was that she was standing at ringside, which is fine, but she was chewing gum like a cow chews cud.
Just mouth open.
And that really wound me up. I really don't like that.
I reckon that's on purpose.
Of course it is, but I don't like it.
No.
I think that it
trying
kind
to
of
be
it makes
right?
it makes her look like it's like they're degrading her into just some stupid bimbo.
A little bit. And she is like phenomenal and very pretty and very talented. But she's having fun with it, leaning into the character. Why not? But I do get what you mean. We did have at one point have 3 submissions going at the same time in the ring. So it's Jericho's team had the others all in submission moves in the ring at the same time, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Didn't get a triple tap, but, it could have happened. And the end, we had Jericho landing the Judas effect on Shota. Umino. Oh, autocorrect. Come on. And pinned him to the win. It says amino. Like an amino acids. Autocorrect doesn't like names. Yeah, great match. Really enjoyed. And a brilliant opening to the main show.
Much like the tag match at the beginning of the buy-in was great. This was the same sort of energy from the main show.
This is how you want to open a show. Just with high energy and then keep it going.
I think I made the comment as well, because obviously Jericho and Sammy Guevara come out to Judas by Fozzy. And then Minoru Suzuki comes out to his theme song and everyone's singing that as well.
Yeah.
It just felt like the first sort of 5 minutes of entrances was just nothing more than a sing-along.
I mean, if you want to get the crowd excited, give them a sing-along to start.
Yeah.
Why not? All right, next match was the winner takes all for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship and the IWGP Tag Team Championship. So this was Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta, who are Roppongi Vice, versus Jeff Cobb and Great Khan from United Empire, versus Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler of FTR.
Hey, well done.
I got the names of the people and the teams.
Well done.
I'm learning. The first thing that you noted was that it was clearly 2 legal men in the ring, as opposed to one from each team.
Yeah.
But I think that in this match particularly, they used it really well.
Yeah, with the story that played out, yeah, fair enough. But
they don't always. These matches quite often do end up a bit
chaos.
Like either just everyone doing everything and there's no control, or one team isn't doing much for quite a while.
Yeah.
But they really did use the strategy that is involved in not always being able to tag your own teammate and that kind of thing. Really played into it. So many close calls in this match. The amount of near falls was quite insane.
Oh, we should probably mention briefly that we had the Gun Club and Max Caster winning, correct, and the Jericho Society winning as well.
I need to get better remembering to do that, but
yeah.
From now on, we'll do it every time. Okay, at one point, Dax Harwood sort of seems to have a shoulder injury and does get taken to the back for a while, which leads into what we were saying about the tactics in the 2-man legal in a 6-man tag.
Forced Cash Wheeler to have to tag in another team.
Yeah, and he played it really well, sort of going for his corner first and then knowing that he has to tag out, so he has to go for the other team, which was, it was a good way of showing that. But Dax does come back after a while. It is quite a while.
It is a good while, about 10 minutes, maybe?
But he's all taped up and looking very determined. And even with this shoulder injury, we get another trip to Suplex City. Dax manages to suplex Cobb quite a few times. Again, didn't count.
No easy feat.
No easy feat. Cobb is pretty big. And with a potential shoulder injury as well. Real good stuff. And the end of this match, FTR get the big rig on Rocky Romero and Dax pins him to win.
Makes sense.
So FTR get both the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship and
they
IWGP.
retain.
Yeah, they retain that one, and they get the IWGP
They claim,
Tag Team Championship.
You said that United Empire was going to win this one.
Yeah, got that one wrong.
I said FTR was going to win it.
Got that right. He's winning.
Cha-ching.
There was some moments though where it actually looked like Roppongi Vice were gonna win it.
Yeah, it did.
It's like,
it did.
No. But it would have been pretty cool either way.
Yeah, that would have been just daylight robbery.
Oh.
Yeah, obviously the too legal at time thing was one of the notes, which was a bit like a. But I also put tag team match of the year. Yeah,
it was amazing.
This was a match you did not want to take your eyes away from at all.
Wasn't the last one we were saying it could be tag team match of the year also FTR?
That was potential candidate for match of the year. That was Dax Howard and Will Ospreay.
Okay, so Dax was there.
Yeah. He's like I've never had any doubts in Dax Howard or Cash Wheeler. They're both great guys. But Dax Howard seems to be coming really into his own, not just as a tag wrestler, but as a singles wrestler.
Yeah.
And he's really putting on these just blistering outings, and they're amazing.
Yeah, he's great. Storytelling in the ring, just the moves he can pull off. Can't fault him.
Top guys.
Top guys. Cool. Then we get a spot at the back with Juice Robinson, who he was the IWGP champion.
IWGP United States champion. Sorry. He had to relinquish it because of an injury, or they said it was... It was supposed to be a three-way match. It was Will Ospreay, Juice Robinson, I can't remember who the third participant was, for the title. Juice Robinson couldn't compete in the match, so it became the person I can't remember versus Will Ospreay.
Yes.
Will Ospreay won the match. He is officially the IWGP United States champion at this particular moment in time in the pay-per-view. But Juice Robinson didn't want to relinquish the belt. He wasn't in, I don't know if he wasn't in Japan at that point or whatever, but they said he had appendicitis. But he still has control, actual possession of that title belt.
He has the item, and he claims that since he wasn't in the match to lose it, so he didn't really lose it, so he's still the champion. That's what he's claiming. So he does a spot about that. He has the belt with him.
He's with Jay White as well, if I remember rightly, because he's part of the Bullet Club.
I think it was a good spot to have to sort of make sure that what viewers who don't know about the whole story are up to date. But it didn't feel like an exposition dump either. It was quite a natural thing.
The one thing he said, that the match between Will Ospreay and Orange Cassidy that happened later on the pay-per-view is nothing more than a number one contendership match. Because he is the rightful champion.
So they'll probably have a unification match, I'd expect, or something.
I don't know if it's unification because there's only one belt.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. So they'll have something where they have a match, so whoever gets it
whoever
is
wins
the rightful
that match
champion.
will be the right champion.
Yeah. So in my head, it sort of equates to CM Punk having the champion, and then whoever has the interim champion fighting for it. But apart from that's official, and this isn't official.
Yeah.
Cool. Moving on to the match for the inaugural All-Atlantic champion. So whoever wins this will be the first ever All-Atlantic champion. And the match is between Malakai Black, Pac, Miro, and Clark Connors.
Boo.
We all know who Alan wants to win.
Oh, do we?
This was a high-stakes match, and it showed through the energy that all the guys put into it, the moves they were pulling off, and the passion they had for it. It was good.
I did feel the match was slower than I was expecting, though.
Yeah, it was. It did have slow bits. I guess you got some quick guys and some slow guys. Miro is more...
He's just a powerhouse, yeah.
He's like a meticulous, takes his time, just slams everybody. I guess if Malakai and Pac had more time in the ring, just those two, it might have sped things up a bit, I guess.
Yeah.
He did quite a lot have each person against each person. So it was quite a balanced kind of match, I felt. Got a good showing from everyone.
Yep.
I've written down big pop for the table, which is what the commentator said, because AEW fans love a table. All wrestling fans love a table. Because why wouldn't you? And obviously, since this is a multi-person match, there's no disqualifications.
No countouts either.
Or countouts, yeah. We did break the prop rule number 1 of if you set it up, you go through it. Because Malakai set it up, like set the table up practically in the crowd, which is
It was on the barrier.
right next to a child. And the child was edging out the way and the table was edging towards the child as it went, so I was a bit worried for his safety, but I'm sure his guardian was looking after him. But yeah, Malakai did not go through his setup. Pac went through it, which was the intention.
No, it was Miro.
Oh, Miro
went through it.
That's right. I don't know why I thought Pac, but Miro was the intended victim in the first place.
Because Miro was out for a few minutes after
and
that.
Miro did go through it.
Yeah. I like to think that child, once Miro sort of crawled away from the wreckage, was like, I want to get a bit of table.
Probably.
Trying to reach over the barrier, trying to get a bit of the table.
He could have probably got under it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure. Or one of the security guards had given him a bit quietly, so he couldn't get sued for giving him splinters or anything. So, the end of this match was a surprise. Pac hits the Black Arrow on Malakai, and then...
Well, you did forget the part where Malakai hits the Black Mist.
He did get the Black Mist on Miro.
Because he had, I think it was Connors in the Accolade. I think it's called the Accolade. I'm not sure what they're calling it now. Basically, it's a camel clutch.
Yeah.
And Malakai just sort of rolls in and straight in his face, and it's like, yes, here we go, and in comes friggin' Pac.
Yeah, so Pac gets the Black Arrow on Malakai Black, ironically, and then hits the Brutalizer gets the Brutalizer, because it's a submission move, on Connors, who taps.
Like a bitch.
So Pac wins. What are the predictions on that one?
Yeah, you had that one right.
I got that one right, and Alan didn't, so we're back to level pegging, I think.
Probably. I'll keep going.
We'll keep going and find out at the end. Really good match, though. I definitely enjoyed that one. Next. Shingo.
No, would have made that match better. Malakai Black winning.
I don't know what I'm glad Pac won, and not just because I predicted it. Something feels right about Pac winning.
Don't get me. Well, I mean, Pac's been there since the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Pac. But I prefer Malakai Black.
Yeah.
And I feel that the House of Black holding one of the championships is almost like holding part of that company hostage for the House of Black.
There's still time.
Continue.
Shingo Takagi. Oh, goodness. Sorry. Shingo Takagi.
What did you call him?
Tatagi.
Okay.
I just can't read. And Darby Allin and Sting.
I was waiting for you to get Sting wrong, and I'm not gonna lie.
Sting.
The dudes with attitude.
Yeah, the dudes with attitudes. Versus the Young Bucks and El Fantasma. The old Young Bucks being Phantasmo.
El Fantasma.
Let me just correct that.
No cuts here, folks. We do this natural.
It's live. Young Bucks and El Fantasmo.
Who are?
The Bullet Club. Young Bucks joining Bullet Club for one night only.
And Hikuleo was on the outside as well.
Hikuleo was on the outside. And definitely gets involved. We do have Tony Schiavone on the announcer's desk for this one.
It's Sting!
And he does make a joke. When he says it's Sting, he's like, right, that's me,
that's
done.
Me. I got He did also elaborate on the Dudes with Attitude name. I completely forgot about this. It was a faction, well, I say a faction, it was a team up. I think it was in the early 90s. Lex Luger was in there. I think the Steiner brothers were part of it. Sting was obviously there. So it's a bit of a throwback to that.
Now that I know it's a 90s thing, it makes more sense.
It makes a lot more sense, yeah.
Because it's definitely not a now thing.
Yeah.
I'm still doubtful that it should be a now thing, but they might be using it just for the one match. So
I think they are.
I'll let it slide. So.
Oh, one thing we should probably mention, this was supposed to be an 8-man tag.
It was.
Takahashi has a fever and was unable to travel. So, unfortunately, Takahashi couldn't make it to the match, which is why it's a 6-man tag now instead of an 8-man tag.
Yes, that's why Hikuleo
it was
is
announced
on the
like Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, so it's really short notice. But we hope he's okay.
Yeah, I hope so.
So, when Sting's music hits and Tony Schiavone says it's Sting, there is no sign of Sting.
There is no Sting?
There is no Sting.
No Sting!
So then the Young Bucks music hits. The Young Bucks come out. It then it morphs into the Bullet Club's music. And we also have the Young Bucks are in their Bullet Club outfits.
Yes.
They got Bullet Club trousers and
which is really cool.
the jackets have patches and stuff on them,
that's
which is
really sweet.
very cool.
There's the old school Ring of Honor logo on there as well.
So Young Bucks have their entrance and they're stood at the top of the ramp and the lights go out and we get a very distant shot up into the rafters and you just see a little Sting face poking out. And then the lights go out again and they come back up and Sting is on top of one of the entrance tunnels and just dives on top of the Young Bucks from there. So I don't know if that was pre-shot footage of Sting up in the rafters or if they had just someone else in Sting makeup up in the rafters. Because obviously it's a very distant shot, so if it's just peeking out.
I was kind of like,
is it?
I mean, at the screen, like, hang on, is that a face?
I bet if we like paused it, you could probably figure out if
it's
it was
probably
or
just
not.
like one of those Sting masks they sell, just hanging there
be.
as a fake out.
Yeah, because obviously they're not showing it for long, and they want to give the impression that he was in the rafters, and now he's suddenly
And
here.
I'm like, wait, are they going to do that entrance? Because he used to do that in WCW when he became the Crow Sting. After the sort of the flat top blonde Sting, he became the Crow Sting. Scott Hall did that, mind?
Oh, cool.
So The Crow was one of Sting's favourite movies, and Scott Hall basically said to him, well, why don't you change your makeup and try and look more like that? That's where that came from.
That's
so
really
the black
cool.
hair, the trench coat, to the face with the white face with the black markings. Sting
Iconic.
used to be all sort of multicoloured.
Yeah.
With the bleached blonde hair, the chiseled, he's obviously still chiseled, but yeah, he used to come down with a harness from the rafters, and that was part of his gimmick.
Yeah.
So that's where they're kind of alluding to the rafters.
Yeah, those rafters are high in these arenas nowadays. So we have Hikuleo interfering in this match.
Yeah, as expected. It's Bullet Club.
Yeah, I mean, why else is he there, right?
I mean, a few hours earlier, he was meant to be in a match, so...
I mean, you got to make the most of it. Travelled all the way.
I think someone said it was a 15-hour flight from Japan to that event.
Oh, I can't imagine. They're probably going back the next day.
Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe.
It was a quite fun spot. I think it was El Phantasmo doing, I don't know if it's like a normal thing for him, trying to tweak Sting's nipples.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, is that a move?
Weird. I don't know.
But Sting did
I've not
not
seen El Phantasmo before this match.
I imagine it's something he does regularly to tweak the nipples and it like puts people on the ground or whatever. But Sting apparently has nipples of steel because he is some sort
just
of
no sells it.
superhero man.
It stings! Nipples of steel!
But then later on, Sting does the nipples thing to Phantasmo, so that was pretty good. It's a very good match. There was a point that you spotted where Sting messed up.
Yes.
He like left the ring.
Yeah.
When he was meant to do something.
It's like he threw the Young Bucks out, and I think he hit. I can't remember what move it was. He hit it on El Phantasmo, and it looked like he was supposed to do something because El Phantasmo sort of got up and he was sort of like waiting there, and Sting was on the outside with the Young Bucks, and then he sort of grabs one of the Bucks. He looks out in the ring, and he's like, "Oh!" He just kind of throws the Young Buck aside and just jumps back in the ring and carries on. I'm just like, I think that might have been the nipple spot.
Possibly, yeah. For a little bit, some other things seem a bit out of time. Like there was stuff happening with Darby Allin that didn't have a camera on it because they were probably catching up with Sting. I don't know, but it got back onto the swing of it. I hit Rags then in the ear. Sorry, Rags. So Shingo hits the last of the dragon on El Phantasmo. I've written Phantasmo again. I don't know. And
correct.
pins him for the win. So Shingo, Darby, and Sting, dudes with attitudes, win.
So I had that one right. You had that one wrong.
No.
One thing that I thought was really funny and that led a lot into the show, sort of showcasing the Bullet Club and the showing off. El Phantasmo did it first. We started doing loads of flips and random sort of. And then he runs in for a chop.
Yeah.
And I think it's on Darby Allin, if I remember rightly. But he's just there, and he's flipping, and he's bouncing, and he's doing other stuff, and then he just goes in for a chop. And he tags in the Young Bucks in, and they do the exact same thing. Because it's just like yeah, we're athletic, deal with it. And it's almost like just a Bullet Club just taking the mick out of their opponent almost. And we got to see Six Boots.
We did. There was
Six
the
boots.
6 boots.
6 boots on, I think it was Darby Allin.
I think it was Darby Allin, yeah, in the corner, and
Yeah.
then gets like a running drop kick from
All 3 guys.
all of them.
2 on the
6
outside,
boots.
1 on the inside. 6 boots!
I don't think I've seen that before. So that was fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, good stuff. So then we have a spot out the back with Shota Umino.
Oh, it was a back rake, not a slap. Sorry, it was the
Back
back
rake.
rakes. So they were flipping,
yeah.
flipping.
I think that makes more sense because you can think that the fans might give them momentum to do a slap harder, but with a back rake it makes no sense.
I just looked at my notes and it's on there.
Good stuff. So Shota Umino has a spot in the back. Jericho Appreciation Society comes out, starts like telling him that they really appreciate him and respected him
and put up a good show and whatnot.
Yeah, and then massive fireball.
To the face.
A real big fireball from Jericho because he's a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry. I'm a what?
Jericho's a wizard. Next, we have a match for the AEW Women's World Championship. Thunder Rosa versus Toni Storm. It was a good match.
Yeah.
Although I feel, for me, it was quite obvious that this match was there because they needed a women's match.
It's the token women's match of the event.
Yeah, and because there aren't women in New Japan Pro Wrestling, they can't do a Forbidden Door based. So there wasn't really any link with this and Forbidden Door, which felt a bit odd to me. Like, I'm sure they could have come up with, like you were saying, that they could have involved someone from Bullet Club to sort of make it.
Toni Storm's husband is Juice Robinson, who is part of Bullet Club. So who's to say that they didn't, like, they could have just done that. So have Juice Robinson run down after Toni Storm takes a nasty looking bump and he's like, oh, no, it's my wife, I want to make sure she's okay and all that kind of stuff. And then it turns out that Toni Storm's actually becoming the first sort of female member of the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been a really big swerve. Whoa!
That was a big swerve.
He's catching in your jumper.
Yeah, he's stuck in my jumper. Rags, it's not my fault you're in my jumper. It's you.
Move. Come on. Rags.
Excuse. There we go, he's out. Yeah, so just having something that could tie it in with Forbidden Door, even the slightest bit would have...
It felt really out of place.
Made it more compelling. And it wasn't a bad match, and this is the only time where I'd probably think that not having any women's matches would be okay because it didn't tie in. But it's good to see the women wrestling, and Thunder Rosa's amazing, and Toni Storm does have real good skills, even if her entrance music is bad.
And she looked rather...
She looked really nervous.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Just at the start of the match, and like understandable, it's a massive crowd, it's a pay-per-view, and it's a championship match. But her character isn't a nervous person, so it's I think she got it as she went on, and she got that confidence back and sort of fell back into the character. But there was a moment the camera was on her and you couldn't see Toni Storm, you could just see like
the person. Playing Toni Storm.
I don't know if her real name can't be Toni Storm.
It's probably Toni, I'd imagine, but not Tony. I don't know, I'm not sure.
Thunder Rosa's headdress for her entrance, as usual, stunning.
Yeah.
She always gets good ones for pay-per-views.
The makeup looked pretty cool as well. It was less skull and more like decayed zombie.
Yes, it was very zombie.
Which is, again, fitting, Forbidden Door.
And sort of less colourful than because usually it's like Sugar Skull, bright colours.
Yeah.
And this was more of a muted tones, I suppose. It started quite slowly and deliberately, which I think partly was because of the nerves.
Yeah.
But I think was a good way of making sure that those nerves didn't cause
mess something
problems.
up, yeah.
And they sort of sped up as they went. Though it wasn't as sort of quick as maybe they could have been. But yeah, it was a good match. And we had Thunder Rosa getting the final reckoning on Toni, pinning her for the win and retaining the AEW Women's World Championship.
I do feel the ending felt a bit flat.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say this about the women's match because it's the only women's match on there, but if you're looking objectively at all the matches, slight spoiler alert, for me this was probably the weakest match of the night.
It did feel like this is the one where everyone's going to go get a drink or whatever.
The buy-in matches were better than this match.
Yeah.
For me.
And it's a shame, but I think it is partly because of the nature of the pay-per-view, because it's not a Forbidden Door match. They've put it in as a filler, and it's short. So I don't know, if they do Forbidden Door again, maybe they need to think about how they incorporate the women's match into it.
But then you say that, they shoehorned the Lance Archer and Nick Comoroto match in.
Yeah.
And that felt like it was still part of Forbidden Door because of the G1 tie-in.
I don't know, Thunder Rose is real good.
Yeah.
What happened? I don't know, maybe there's still some development stuff to happen with the women's roster, and even just how they're used or how they're managed, how they're guided through and sort of given creative support maybe. I'm not sure what would help really.
I don't know at this point.
Yeah, I mean, because we had for a while Brandy Rhodes really championing the women's division, and even like the women in the fan base with the AEW heels sort of subscription thing. And we haven't seen that for a long time. Unless it's on Dark and Elevation and stuff. I'm
Brandy's
not sure.
no longer with the company, remember?
That's true.
Then she might have just gone, it's mine.
Maybe they need a woman who can be in that leadership circle, but also in the forefront and out in the open as one of the leaders of like, I don't know.
I know a lot of people are calling for Sasha Banks to go to AEW.
Interesting.
I don't know.
It really depends.
I don't know.
It could go either way.
I feel that if you've got that, you almost risk slipping into the Charlotte Flair thing.
Yeah.
Where, it's Sasha Banks every week. She's always the champion. She's always in the title picture when she's not the champion. I feel that you might end up slipping into that.
Could do.
And I don't want to see AEW slipping into that.
We need a new Brandy, I think. New Brandy. Maybe who isn't wrestling very often, but is more like management, booking kind of thing. They might have people behind the scenes. I don't know how it all works, but there's something needs to be a bit more public if there is, I think. All right. Next, we have the Apple Pencil's messed up my words again. Don't worry about it. The IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship.
Yep.
Which is a match between Will Ospreay and Orange Cassidy. So this is the one where Juice Robinson has the actual belt, but Will Ospreay is officially the champion. And
they do show him up in the Bullet Club skybox.
Yes.
Holding that belt.
Yeah, I think the lights must have been really bright because the people he were with...
El Phantasmo was like...
I don't think he knew the cameras were on him. He was just fed up.
Oh, no, I reckon it was on purpose.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
He did a very good job. I know, they were just reflecting off Juice Robinson's sunglasses, so you can tell the lights are real bright.
I think it was Hikuleo behind him as well. It didn't look like a pleasant experience.
But
it's pretty cool that they managed to show the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship title, because it's a really nice belt.
Yeah, it is a very nice belt. And hopefully it'll get to the right hands. This was...
Who's to say it's not in the right hands?
This was a really fun match to watch. As you'd expect from Orange Cassidy in any match. And we know Will Ospreay as well is a real talent.
Yeah.
It was great. I mean, Orange Cassidy starts off strong.
He starts off like that, and then he tells the ref to ring the bell. It's like...
Yeah. But then immediately he's still like flipping out and doing all the crazy stuff you shouldn't be able to do with your hands in your pockets, which is brilliant. But he does then lose momentum pretty quickly and loses that advantage. But also will not stay down and won't give up, which is just great. He gets a lot of near falls and just when you really don't think he can, he's kicking out his stuff.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant. You've obviously got Aussie Open interfering multiple times. We lose a ring corner camera.
Oh, yeah. Ospreay just plants that hard.
Yeah. Orange Cassidy basically just throws Ospreay's face into this camera and you see it just smashing, which is quite unusual. And then it's just like hanging off. I think they must have fixed it later on. I don't know.
I don't think they ever threw back to that camera after
probably
that.
Not. There were other ring side cameras,
I think there was one on the other turnbuckle posts.
I felt like even though Orange and Ospreay are very different, they have very complementary styles.
It's two different kinds of cocky, isn't it?
Yeah, but it gels so well together and gets a really fast-paced match. Even when things are like slower, when like Orange Cassidy's on the ground, it sort of feels like it's just constantly going. You've been fed, calm down. Naughty cat. So yeah, we end the match with Ospreay getting a Stormbreaker. Oh, honey, go. A Stormbreaker, but as he's got Cassidy up in the Stormbreaker, he does a little Orange Cassidy thumbs up. And then he pins Orange to win and retain the championship. And we'll see, maybe, in the future, whether they actually get the belt or not. Anything to say about the match before we get to the aftermath?
No, just it was fantastic. There was a lot of psychology going on both parts. Like I say, two different sides of cocky.
Yeah, because Ospreay did spend some time doing some very gentle hits.
Yeah, I think he was trying to take the mick out of, obviously, Orange Cassidy. And then he starts kicking Cassidy, and then Cassidy reverses it, and he just kind of starts, like, love tapping him almost with his foot in the face. And it's like... And you can see Ospreay's just like...
Just, like, really getting in his head, yep. After the match, Aussie Open and Ospreay attack Orange Cassidy in the ring and rip out his pockets, which is definitely an insult. Then you get Roppongi Vice coming out to his defense, but they are then repelled. And the next person that comes out is Katsuyori Shibata.
It sounds about right. I'm not entirely certain. He's obviously a big name.
Yes.
But I don't really know anything about him.
He looks very muscly, but like sinewy muscly, like a proper martial artist kind of look to him.
Almost like a Bruce Lee kind of build.
Yeah. Just like the sinews in his neck standing out, you know what we mean. Very strong looking person. He attacks Will Ospreay, and I guess is probably the next challenger for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship.
Like I'd imagine
probably.
So. Yeah.
It seems that way. Whether we see that, it'd be quite nice to follow up, maybe see what happens with. Might
have to look on New Japan Pro Wrestling. We'll see if they got some sort of service.
Yeah, we shall see. Orange Cassidy then gets in the ring with Shibata, and they sort of face off a bit. Which, like, are they gonna have a match? And then Orange Cassidy gets his glasses out, goes to put them on, turns them round and puts them on Shibata, and then sort of leans on him with his thumb up, posing. I don't know. They seem like
you've got to give the fans what they want.
Yeah. Orange Cassidy then rolls out, and Shibata sort of gestures, as in, like, come on in and fight me, is what it looks like. Orange Cassidy gets back in and then just leaves.
You leave in the ring to Orange Cassidy. It's a sign of respect.
Yeah. So yeah, good stuff.
Okay.
Good match.
Yep.
And fun stories and motivation to watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, probably.
I mean, most of the matches you with the Japanese guys is motivational enough,
I think. Okay. Next, we move on to Zack Sabre Jr. versus question mark to find out who the best technical wrestler is. And we know that this is to be the newest member of the Blackpool Combat Club.
Who will also join the team in Blood and Guts.
So in the predictions, you were saying that you think that
there was two. Yeah, there was either Johnny Gargano or Cesaro or Claudia. Yeah, was it Claudia Castagnoli? That's what his name is what he's going by on the Independents. So
you'd seen on social media Johnny Gargano had posted sort of like at the time of the event.
Yeah, it was like a few hours previous, and he was showing like a photo of the boarding gate, saying he was flying back to somewhere else, and I can't remember where it was. Yeah. And then the next picture with it was him sat on a plane.
But then obviously
it's like, thanks Chicago, it's been fun. It's like, well, the Young Bucks have done that. The Hardys have done this before.
Yes. So whether or not that's true or not, but either way, Gargano's gonna get a bit of. A bit of marketing from that, so that's good for him. And the mystery person was Claudio Castagnoli. I don't know how to say it, but just going to call him Claudio.
The music hits, and it's showing all the crowd shots instead, and I'm like, I don't recognise this music.
Yeah, because it's not the same as when he was in the other company.
Obviously, yeah.
And
But then as soon as it shows the screen, it's like Claudio, and I'm like, yes, I was right.
Yeah, out he comes. Newest member of the Blackpool Combat Club. And he almost wins in the first 5 seconds.
Yeah, that was crazy. That
So
uppercut
close.
and the I can't remember what they call it.
Sure. He does a thing.
Yeah. It's one of his finishes, and I can't remember what it's called. Damn it.
Yeah. But he gets, I think that's a near fall.
Yeah, it was like 2.5 easily,
Like,
and then it's like Sabre kicks out, and he just instantly rolls out of the ring. And he's like, "Damn it!"
This is a really a brilliant match.
Yeah.
The technical wrestling as well as really hard hitting stuff. It's not all like submissions and mat work. Clinic is the right word. This is the first time in a while that I've heard a "This is wrestling" chant pay-per-view, which says a lot. It was really just something amazing to watch. We had quite a few attempts to get the giant swing from Claudio. It doesn't work a lot. And then he's got the crowd. They're all like calling for it. And then he calls for it. And he managed to get 5 swings on Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
Throughout the match, Zack's been working the shoulders.
Yeah, the right shoulder and the right arm.
So obviously that damage is going to make it harder to get swings. But he managed.
I think he does. He sort of drops him, and he's like,
yeah, it's clear that it's the shoulder that is the reason that he couldn't get to a higher number. And I mean, during this match, just watching Zack Sabre Jr.'s skill in transitioning from one submission move to another. So if something's slipping slightly, he's like just adjusting like an artist into a different move so he can get a better hold. It's something special.
It's beautiful.
It was. It was art, I think. And we end the match with Claudio getting the Ricola bomb on Zack Sabre Jr. and pinning him to win.
We had Thunder Rosa winning, which is right. We had Will Ospreay winning, which is right, and we had Claudio, or the mystery person, winning, which is right as well.
Awesome. Yeah, sorry, I thought I was going to remember each time, and then we didn't.
I just clocked it myself, so.
Anything else on that match before we move on?
Pretty much that's all I can say is what a clinic. That was incredible.
It was a great match. Next, we have the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match between Adam Cole, Hangman Adam Page, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, and the current champion Switchblade Jay White.
Who is also...
Leader
of the Bullet Club.
Leader of the Bullet Club. I didn't write that bit down. It wasn't on the entrance card. Another great match. Very enjoyable. As I think with Adam Cole, you know you're going to get a good match. And Jay White's brilliant. Okada's brilliant. Page is brilliant.
Page is brilliant in a different way.
Yeah, he's got he's got something else. He's maybe not quite at the same level of wrestling skill wise, but he's got something.
Yeah.
You can get
he's
the crowd.
entertaining.
Oh yeah. We did have Adam Cole and Jay White teaming up for a bit. We knew it wasn't going to last because I mean both these guys are heels, so.
And they're both leaders of their respective factions.
So I thought it was quite fun that the moment that they turned on each other was right after doing the Too Sweet.
Yeah.
It's Too Sweet, and then Adam Cole turns on Jay White and attacks him.
Yeah. And I figured it'd be the other way around. I thought it was Jay White that was going to hit the first opening volley, as it were.
But it's probably Adam Cole expected that too and wanted to get the upper hand first.
Yeah.
Because he's smart. He is a smart man, smart
You wouldn't have won the OI tournament if you hadn't.
He also, one of his favourite things seems to be pulling people off the apron. He was always on the outside just grabbing legs and yanking. It's great.
Hardest part of the ring, don't you?
Hardest part of the ring. Those square turnbuckles now.
Oof.
So, the ending of this match was a bit interesting. So we had Jay White hitting the Blade Runner on Okada.
Yeah.
Then he goes over to Adam Cole, who's lying down in the corner.
He'd been hit by something. I can't remember what he got hit by, but he was sort of out of it in the corner.
Yeah, rolls him in and and pins him for 3. Jay White looked a bit surprised, and the ref looked a bit surprised, but obviously calls it as he sees it. There seemed to be some exchanges happening between the 3 of them.
Well, Jay White kind of, as soon as he pins him, sort of gets up and says something to the referee in his ear. Gets right in his ear.
So it looks like the change might have had to finish, other way around. The finish might have had to change because of a potential injury to Adam Cole.
So while you were sort of getting yourself ready to record, I did have a quick look on some news sites, and that is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
The match, that wasn't the planned finish of the match.
Was Jay White supposed to win? Do we know?
As far as I'm aware,
aware,
that was the outcome.
Yeah.
But that wasn't how. I mean, they didn't really explain much about it. They just said that Adam Cole knew that he couldn't continue in the match, and he had the sense of mind to be like, right, I need to end this now.
Yeah.
And he must have said something to Jay White when he was covering him, something like, I can't kick out, something's not right.
Yeah.
And then 1, 2, 3, and then the ref's kind of like, ring the bell, and then Jay White's like, yeah, he's hurt, get the friggin' doctor in here now. And then obviously you see him sort of get the doctor, and then the Young Bucks come out, and Kyle O'Reilly comes out, and Switchblade's walking up the ramp, and he just blanks the Young Bucks and Kyle O'Reilly, and it's like... But then leading again into that.
Yeah.
So I get the feeling that maybe Adam Cole was meant to take the loss, but maybe after being hit with a Blade Runner or something like that.
Yeah, something a bit more...
impactful, I guess.
Yeah, impactful. But it goes a long way to show that the wrestlers are looking after themselves, and AEW is looking after the wrestlers, and that's the most important thing.
And rumour has it that Adam Cole suffered a concussion, so
that's something that you don't want to mess around with, that, as we'll know from previous many stories in wrestling history.
Let's not go there.
Nope. Cool. Anything else on that match?
No.
All right.
It was a great match.
It was really good. Hey, guess what?
What?
And signs of the pay-per-view. Of the pay-per-view. It's time for your favourite segment of the show. The only segment of the show at the moment. Signs of the pay-per-view. And as always, we have much better signs than we seem to get in the other company. Okay. We'll go straight for the top 3. In third place, this one's specially for you. If Aerith dies, we riot.
Yep.
I know that you're Final Fantasy big time fan. I've seen some stuff about Aerith, but not enough to be very invested. But you liked it.
Final Fantasy VII, the original game, is on 3 discs. Was it 4? It's either 3 or 4. I think it's 3. At the end of the first disc, one of the main characters, which has been in your party since the beginning, gets killed. So all that build-up, all that work, all that gear on Aerith...
It's just all lost.
Just gets lost.
I mean, that does sound riot-worthy.
Yeah. So this is a reference to the remake, because they announced recently on the 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII that the next game is coming next year, next winter, and it's called Rebirth, I believe it was. So
this will probably be the part in the story where Aerith is likely to...
Maybe.
But will they change it?
I don't know.
Who knows?
There's speculation on the remake, which I don't really want to get into here because it could be spoilers for anyone who hasn't played it.
And this isn't a video game video.
No.
Although we do like seeing video game signs and wrestling. It's good stuff.
I did see, I don't think you would have seen it, but I did see a Vanguard is better than Modern Warfare 2 sign.
Do you agree with it?
Modern Warfare 2 hasn't even come out yet.
Oh.
Not the new one. The Modern Warfare 2 is the new version of Call of Duty coming out this year.
Right.
Vanguard, I haven't really played it. It's a World War II one. That's more up my street than the others. So
well, then how do they know?
But if they're talking about Vanguard is better than the original Modern Warfare 2, I would probably agree with that.
Cool.
But I don't think it is. I think this person just said, look, the World War II version of Call of Duty is the staple. It's what brought Call of Duty to the game. That's better than the Modern Warfare stuff.
Good stuff. Game signs. Game signs in wrestling. They're links together. Be good stuff. Second place is a twofer. It was a duo of signs. The first one of the two I saw was clap, 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 which I didn't get until
I was kind of like, huh?
What? And then we saw part one, which says, this is awesome. So they hold them up together. It says, this is awesome. Clap, 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 which ties in with the chant, this is awesome. In a sign.
Yeah, that was cool.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Creative thinking. If you don't want to actually clap, you just hold it up.
With Moxley being here.
You know, that was from Rags. He stabbed it. And then the first place, which I'm not sure you saw.
I don't think so, because you laughed and I was like, I missed whatever that was.
I only saw this sign in the final match.
That's an awful sign. Oh, I thought that was the sign. Okay.
If Punk loses, we ... Oh, wait. Playing on if Punk loses, we riot.
Yeah.
But he ain't there. So, first place. Good stuff.
So, for
Good
anyone
signs.
who doesn't know, the original match should have been CM Punk versus Hiroshi Tanahashi for the AEW World Championship.
Yeah. Good stuff. And now's a good time to
and it was
mention...
in Chicago, which is Punk's hometown.
Oh, yeah. Now's a good time to mention my dream of one day seeing a Lee Allen Presents sign at a wrestling pay-per-view.
Please make this happen. We will make it worth your while somehow.
Somehow.
We
We'll
will
find
send
a way.
you some sort of prize.
It's my dream. Thank you for watching the Allen Signs of the pay-per-view. The Allen Signs of the pay-per-view. Ooh, he didn't throw it this time. And that takes
He
us...
has a name.
Ooh, Alan didn't throw it this time. That sounds weird.
Some respect or lack of respect.
Sorry,
I guess.
Alan. Next time, Alan, I'll use your name first, Alan. Final match, main event.
Thank you, Leanne. Hey, Leanne. It's time for the main event.
For the AEW Interim World Championship, Jon Moxley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. Do you like the confidence I said that with that time?
To be fair, they've said the name Hiroshi Tanahashi so many times on Dynamite.
I know,
that if you got that wrong, I would probably have to backhand you.
There was a weird extra guitar bit before Moxley's music.
Yeah.
Which I thought either he had new music or...
He's using his New Japan music, is what I thought.
Yeah. Or maybe they had like a live guitarist to play him into the ring or something. But
it did kind of sound live the way it
sounded. But then it just went into his normal music. So whether they had a live guitarist on the stage and then
I doubt it. They would have showed it.
Don't know. Bit weird. The crowd was very split, like evenly split for this match. We had very equal Moxley and Tanahashi chants, which is always fun to see. We like a split crowd. It gives a good atmosphere.
Yep.
This match was pretty brutal, heavy hitting, as expected.
Yeah.
I think we got exactly what we wanted. There was a moment where Moxley started bleeding.
Yeah, I don't quite know how that happened.
We couldn't quite figure out the moves that he'd taken up to that point didn't seem to warrant like hitting his head. But I did see on the ground by the ring apron where he'd fallen out, it looked like a little metal triangle. I don't know whether it was a blade, maybe he bladed. I don't know. Or there was something there that shouldn't have been. And when he fell from the ring or like got flipped out of the ring, he landed on it. I don't know. My instinct is blading because he does like a bit of colour.
Yeah. He bleeds like a stuck pig.
Oh yeah, Crimson Mask is the word. But yeah, I mean, what can you say? It was a great match.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, it really was.
What else can you say? Just like the skill of these guys and the dedication that they put in to putting on a great match. The moves that they can pull off and the moves they can take. It's something for younger wrestlers to aspire to, I suppose. But from maybe not blading, I'm not going to endorse it.
No. I want to see more of Tanahashi in AEW.
Yes,
that'd be great.
That would be cool. Well, now that we think the Forbidden Door might be open forever.
Let's hope so.
There is no door anymore. Maybe he'll be back.
The Forbidden Archway.
The Forbidden Archway. Love it. So this match ends with Moxley getting the Bulldog on Hiroshima.
The Bulldog choke, yeah.
Bulldog choke. And then from that hitting the Death Rider and pinning Hiroshi Tanahashi for the win. Autocorrect is really
such
messing.
conviction on that last one, Leanne.
Autocorrect is really messing with me on this line of my notes. I got it though. good stuff. Anything else to say before we get to the aftermath?
I am a little disappointed they didn't go with the Tanahashi taking the title to New Japan.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a better story, as opposed to just giving it back to Mox.
Yeah. What did we say for this one?
You said Mox would win, I said Tanahashi. But then I think for me with this one, that was more of a wish than a...
Yeah. Like we said, for quite a lot of these, because we don't know all of the wrestlers involved, a lot of it would have been want picks.
And I was hoping they wouldn't go down the safety route, the WWE route.
Yeah.
You know, I think I would have preferred to see Tanahashi take it to New Japan, defend it in New Japan. Obviously, would retain in New Japan until CM Punk is good enough to, or well enough rather, not good enough, was well enough to come back and stake his claim back on the championship, as it were.
Yeah.
And you could keep that door open by showing, our interim champion, Hiroshi Tanahashi, defended his title against Tetsuya Naito, for example, last week at G1 whatever, and this year's some highlights.
Yeah.
And then you kind of entice people to go, okay, well, let's check out some New Japan stuff. But then you could have AEW guys also go over and go, right, well, I want to fight you. And then you'd have, let's say, Malakai Black, just for example's sake, going over to New Japan to face to fight Tanahashi for the title, would lose, but then people might see Malakai Black and go, I want to see more of him. I might start watching more AEW.
Yeah.
So you'd have that very much back and forth, and I think that would have been a much better outcome than just going, Moxley, yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion.
What's your hot take? So after the match...
Is that a new segment? Alan's hot take.
Alan's hot take. After the match, Jericho and Daniel Garcia come out and attack Moxley and Hirooki.
Moxley.
I
said Moxley.
Then Kingsley comes out.
Kingsley?
Yeah.
Kingston. Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingsley, ladies and gentlemen.
Autocorrect.
It's the younger brother of Eddie Kingston.
It's autocorrect. It's not my fault. It's late and I'm trying to read. Kingston comes out.
She's like this when she tries to read anyway.
I'll just end the video now. It's fine.
Thanks for watching.
Then Wheeler Yuta comes out. Santana and Ortiz, and then the rest of the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Yeah.
So you get chaos in the ring.
It's like 6 on 5.
Lots of people. And then Claudio comes out, brawls with Jericho.
He goes straight for
Jericho. And then cleans house. Regal comes out on the ramp. He's smirking, because obviously he's now got Claudio.
It's a secret weapon, isn't it?
Yep.
Technically.
Claudio then gets the giant swing on Angelo Parker. I'm pretty sure he got to 20. It's hard to tell because
the crowd can't keep up with the counting.
They go a bit fast, the crowd do. But
I think they do it in
20.
seconds as opposed to rotations.
Yeah, I do in rotations.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got 20.
That's what it feels like. Either that or someone starts losing it and then the crowd just sort of follows that one person who can't count.
Pretty much. So this is pretty much a preview of Blood and Guts.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Mox
Fun
is still
times.
bleeding everywhere.
Yeah, obviously. Blood and Guts. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to Blood and Guts.
But then you do also, I don't know if you got this in your notes, but you do also have Eddie Kingston sort of mouthing off because he doesn't like Claudio.
No, he does not.
So we'll see I don't know why.
Plays out.
I'm not quite sure. I'm going to have to look into this.
Yeah, some history between them.
Because I think they even said at one point during the Claudio Zack Sabre Jr. match that he's obviously the newest member of the Blackpool Combat Club. And there's one person that Eddie Kingston hates more than Bryan Danielson. It's Claudio Castagnoli. So it's like, okay.
Stuff's going to get crazy. So that was Forbidden Door. It was great.
That was such a good event. I
think the only real slow match was the women's match, unfortunately. But I wouldn't say it was a dud. I don't think there were any duds in this one.
I wouldn't call it a dud. I'd say it's probably the least, and like my least favourite of the event. I'd
agree. It's the least sort of engaging one. But yeah, I mean, they were all great matches. You had quite a good range. Not all the same high speed, but well enough to keep pace, keep engagement, keep the crowd going. More of this, please. More of this.
Favourite match?
Favourite match was the winner-take-all tag match.
Yeah, for me, it's either that one or Will Ospreay and Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, that was real good.
That was up fantastic there too. On a different level.
Are you proud of me? I prepared what my favourite match was before we started recording. I am learning. Even if I can't read, no, it's autocorrect. really giving me trouble. So, next pay-per-view that we're doing, I believe, is Money in the Bank, WWE, which is
Saturday
it's Saturday. Ooh.
2nd of July.
Oh, I'm not prepared. So yeah, we'll be doing our predictions video sometime later this week.
We've got a bit less time to prepare because we are going to a concert on Thursday as well. So
yeah, predictions later this week, and then reactions once we've had a chance to watch it. We may or may not drop another video this week. Haven't decided.
We don't want to overload people,
No.
but we might.
We might. We'll see. But I mean, thank you so much for watching this video. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for commenting and sort of joining the conversation. Continue to do so. We want to know, what was your favourite match?
Yeah. Joseph, hit us up in the comments. What do you think? One thing that I did talk about with him, which I am disappointing is probably the wrong word, but I was hoping to see Kenny Omega.
Yes, that would have been awesome. It did not happen, unfortunately. Please like this video if you liked it. Even if you don't, maybe just like it anyway, because
you're a good person, and you want to make us smile.
Yeah, otherwise we'll stop smiling in videos. Subscribe to the channel.
Do you want to see this all the time?
I know I do. Hit the bell to be notified when we drop new videos. Follow us on socials. Details are in the description below. And until next time, go and watch some different wrestling companies. Watch some indie stuff and some not so popular stuff. I mean, you might find something you like.
Cool.
Bye-bye!